Hi, my name is Bjorn Ranheim, and I'm very happy to join you today on the Sheldon Online Music Academy. Today I'm going to be talking to you from the Sheldon Concert Hall, which is one of my favorite places in the world to play. It's a gorgeous recital hall here in St. Louis, and a place that I have played many times over the years and really enjoy it. It's acoustically perfect and just a great place, so I'm very happy to join you from here. And today I'm going to talk to you about the cello, various aspects of the cello, and try to pass on a couple of little ideas and pointers to you, a cellist and a musician. So first of all, I would like to start talking about when we approach the instrument. How do we get ourselves both mentally and physically ready to play the cello? I think somebody described it very well in that playing a stringed instrument, or any instrument for that matter, is a very physical pursuit, much like an athletic pursuit. And so like an athlete, we need to get our bodies prepared to sit down at the instrument or stand at the instrument. We can't just dive right in and play the hardest, fastest things, because we have a very strong chance of potentially injuring ourselves. So in my day-to-day approach to the instrument, I start without the cello at all. And I start by doing some very basic stretches and some calisthenics just to move my body, get the blood flowing, and kind of get the body awake so that then when you do sit down at the instrument, you can focus in and be settled. Now, when I do start playing the cello, I start working on bigger muscle groups and then work my way down to smaller muscle groups in getting them working and firing. I find that this helps me then to tackle whatever repertoire it is that I'll be practicing that day. And it's better to take this time at the beginning of your session to get it all working on all cylinders before diving in. It makes your practice so much more productive. So for me, I do some simple exercises, and I'll just demonstrate a couple of them to kind of accentuate this point of big muscle groups to small muscle groups. So at first, when I sit down at the cello, after tuning, I start some very basic slides all the way up the instrument, 2 octaves each, just to get large arm muscles and bow muscles going. So forth and so on, up a couple of octaves and then back down again. Now, your neighbors may wonder what's going on, but don't worry about them. Just focus in on your craft and getting your body going. After those initial slides, then I actually start breaking it down to single octave slides. But what I do is I change my hand placement to help start stretching out the fingers. So you'll notice I'm going to do the same slide intervals 4 times in a row. The first time I'm going to have all of the spacing of the fingers together. Second time I'm going to have the first and second finger together and the first and second finger spread. The third time I'm going to have the second and third finger spread like this. And the fourth time I'm going to do a wide spread so that they're all even. What this does is it helps to get the hand going and warmed up on a small level. Again, you do this in up a scale and then down again if you'd like. This starts getting your body and your hand a little bit more ready. And then we start putting some of these things together. We start doing bigger slides and then some smaller motions in between. So what I find is after doing some of this, I am then ready to start looking at scales and arpeggios and etudes. When I look at scales, I do very much the same thing. I start with slow single bows per note, and then as I go, I take smaller and then faster bows all the way up. So what this does is it does a similar type of warm-up for your bow arm that it did with your left hand. You start with long tones and then you'd play half notes, quarter notes, eighth notes, triplets, 16th notes, all the way up until you're running up and down the instrument on these scales. So I think some of these are good to start with your practice every day, just to give your body a sense of establishing your presence and making sure that your muscles are all ready to go so you can start to tackle some of the harder stuff.